this way and still have somewhat of an angle so I can explain to everybody what we're doing tonight. It says to hit a button. Okay, I don't care about that. Go away, button. See, you get a new phone. Next thing you know, Instagram just won't leave you alone. Okay, managing live stream. Okay, yeah, I got it. I don't need you to tell me how to do another live stream. Instagram, thank you. I'm not that much of a rookie, for sakes. Here we go. Now we're up and running. All right, everybody, welcome to the live stream tonight. For those of you that will be joining us shortly, or you're catching this later on the YouTube, I am BigBird Offie, coming from Salt the Streets. We're doing this live stream tonight in lieu of our standard Thursday night live stream book club update, book show. So Donovan is busy hitting the books today so that we can have an awesome review preview at the end of the month. So in that turn, we're gonna do a little cooking show, just like we did over on St. Patty's Day. So let's see if I can get the angles to work out here. Look at the dogs. Everybody's hanging out with the dogs. All right, we're gonna steal this phone here. Stand by. And then I can switch around. Ooh, look at that. So here we have what we call our mise en place. So basically that's just a French word in the culinary industry for getting all your shit together. You want your tools, you want all your ingredients, get all that stuff going, and that way there's nothing to kind of stop you and impede your progress when it comes to getting your dish prepped. So what are we going to do today? We're going to do kind of a nice little taco bowl. It's a really easy, quick meal anybody could throw together. You know, you can usually do it from whatever you have sitting around in your house. What you really need is protein to start with, and today I just went into the freezer and we actually have some taco flavored ground beef, which is going to be nice and easy. If you don't have that, hell, I mean, you could use chicken of any kind. You could do ground, you could do not ground. What are you doing, kitty cat? You're trying to get up to trouble. You should come over here. I know. Good Lord. Stunt cat, please. But yeah, you can use any kind of protein you'd like. If I did not have this pre-seasoned ground beef, you know, you could use any kind of taco seasoning. You know, a cheap McCormick one generally works. Or, you know, they got them little packets. I don't think I have any packets in here, but they're easy to find. Other than that, I mean, you could just throw in some oregano, some thyme, some garlic, some chili powder, maybe a little paprika. You know, cumin. You need some cumin throw in there if you're going to try to build something from scratch. But you know, it's not that hard to get going here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get a pan nice and hot to brown the ground beef first and foremost. And again, we're going to try to play with the camera here and see what you can do down here. That's right. We're just going to go like this so we can start prepping things. Oh, come on, camera. This stand is bogus. There we go. See? Now you can see everything going on. So first thing we're going to do is get our ground beef going. So we're going to step back, prep this thing up, ready to go. Once our pan is nice and hot, we'll drop it in there. I'm going to use avocado oil today. Depending on what kind of ground beef you get, depending on how lean it is, you may not really need to add any extra fats right off the bat. But looking at this is a 85% lean ground beef, so it is going to be on the leaner end. So I'm going to add a little bit of avocado in there just to get us going here. And the reason I'm using avocado oil in place of, you know, anything else is, you know, my usual go-to is olive oil, but olive oil has a nice low smoke point and it's got a really strong flavor profile. So we're not going to really mess with that. We want something that's relatively neutral. That way all of our other seasonings can come through. Just like that, nice hot pan, little oil. I'm going to go wash my hands real quick. Just watch that ground beef brown there. Very nice. All right. So we are officially off to the races. Now the first thing we're going to do while we let this ground beef kind of do its thing, get our spoon ready, that way we can kind of move it around every now and again. But we're going to start prepping our veggies real quick. So I have just a single yellow bell pepper. I would have probably preferred green in this particular scenario just for the color, but it's what I had lying around. Yellow onion. Don't really need to do anything fancy with this stuff. I mean, we're making a burrito bowl, so it's really not that big a deal. Add up the onion. Go around the old pepper here. Watch out for that stuff on the inside. It can get a little bitter. Put that off the side. I think we call this the spiff or the piff or something like that. I kind of forget what's going on. But there we go. Lose some of that stuff. We'll be real fancy about it and pull out this stuff too. Just because, I mean, we're on video. We might as well. Let's just go for it. Yee, yee. What is this thing telling me right now? Not much. I hope everything's working out. This is the first, pretty much anything I've done with this new phone. Alright, so what I'm doing here is just kind of getting things off to the side. Prepping up the onion. I'm not really concerned about trying to get any specific type of cut. Although it is important at this stage to decide what kind of cut you are going to do. Because you're going to generally want to do the onions and the peppers in a very similar fashion. The consistency, especially when it comes to like a burrito bowl, it'd be weird to have a bunch of different shaped, size vegetables in there. We don't want to do that. Go, little bud. Come on. Oh, I'm just going to touch up ground beef like that a little bit. And then, yeah, we'll go ahead and get into our onions. I think for these ones, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of do like a large chop, if you will. But I'm not really that concerned about it. But you know, you got to ask yourself: do you want a bunch of tiny little bits, or you want something you can sink your teeth into a little bit? So I'm thinking, probably go into thirds here real quick. And then I'm not really going to be that specific about it. We'll just get a couple wedge cuts in there. Look at that. Beautiful. It'll work out just fine. Got a piece of skin out of there. And same deal on this one. Go ahead and choppy. Chop. Couple on the side. Ooh, watch out, everybody. Onions like to run on you. Alright, now, essentially, same deal. We're looking for something generally that size with our peppers. And for those of you joining us just now, thank you very much for joining us. Once again, this is the In Lieu of the Book show tonight. We're going to be doing this nice little cooking adventure. Nothing fancy. Something you could throw together pretty much any day of the week. It's nice and easy. It's quick. It's relatively cheap, depending on what kind of stuff you have sitting around the house. I did not buy anything today extra. Just kind of used what I had. I originally planned on doing like a ground turkey burrito bowl, but then I looked in the freezer and hey, look at that. Had that nice ground beef there. Alright, so we got that ready to go. We're going to toss our ground beef a little bit. This part gets kind of fun because you can start to make a decision about if you want like a nice, if you want a bunch of like meat chunks in your burrito bowl, you can go that route. You can get, you know, like a potato smasher out, or you can get a whisk out and get these things really grinded up here. But I like to have some chunk to my ground meat when I do a burrito bowl like this. Lets everything just soak up all the flavor and all that. And just every time you bite into it, it's just an explosion of flavor. Oh. Okay, so we've got our onions and peppers pulled up. We're working on our beef. I'm going to go ahead and transfer this to a nice little bowl. If you guys do not have a bunch of clutch bowls around, something to get. There always is a use for them. They make life very easy. And to be perfectly honest, they're fun to look at, especially if they're nice and clear. Makes you look fancy. Alright, so what do we got? We got peppers, onions down. We have some fire roasted corn that we got actually from Costco, but you can use any kind of corn you want. If you want corn, you don't even have to add corn. And then I'm also going to go ahead and do some black beans in here too, just because it's the fun thing about a burrito bowl. You can kind of just go to town and add whatever you want in here. Boy. It's a nice thing because you can make a decent batch of things. You can use them for, like, you know, taking to work with you as lunches. Whatever. Okay. So what I just did was strain out my black beans. Usually comes with a pretty thick sauce, more or less, for lack of a better term. And I generally don't want to add that to the whole situation. So I think the next thing we'll do is we'll grab our little avocados we got here. Maybe we'll just kind of chop up some of these and maybe keep them on the side. We can add them at the last minute. It's good for a garnish, very good for you, lots of good fats in there. And they have a relatively neutral flavor, which is nice. So, you know, the thing that usually gets people about avocados is the texture. It's a really creamy deal, and when you eat vegetables, a lot of people aren't used to creaming them. But, you know, this is the fun part. Just butter the knife right in the seed. Like that. You want to secure the avocado in your hand. You don't want to. You want to do this. I've had personal experiences with this, but that usually ends up just with injury. Just slap it in there, give it a little twist, and you're pretty much good to go. All right. So next thing, I think I'm just going to go for kind of a big cubey looking deal. Maybe 3 or 4 lines. Yeah, we'll just do 3 lines like that. Just being real gentle with the knife there. It's a nice ripe avocado, so this is just real soft. Just doing all the work for me. I basically just got to flick my wrist and this all works out. You really got to watch out though. I mean, avocado skins can be a little thin and you can slice right into your hand if you're not careful. So just easy on the knife work. Nice and slow. Although it would probably make for good content if we did it online, but you know, I'm not trying to have that kind of weekend. And honestly, I'm not going to do with anything with these avocados once I get them sliced like this. I'm just going to set them off to the side. Because I don't want to like fully pull them out of there because they oxidize really fast and they'll start to brown. And so just for better presentation, I'm just going to leave them in the skins until it's just about ready to go. Basically as soon as we're plating up. So got those, put those off to the side here. Hey, what do we want to do next? We have a lemon and a lime. We can just prep up for later. Just going to split those in half. Ooh, lemons seen better days. We might not use that. So we're just going to split those on the side for our handy little juicer later on. Watching our ground beef, it's starting to get there. Almost done. We're going to go ahead and transfer that into our last little bowl over here. And some people would like to drain the grease out of this pan, but we have a bunch of vegetables we're going to saute, and I am not wasting all of that just golden magic. That's just nothing but flavor right there. So let's go ahead and plate this up here. And I'm just going to try to flop all this stuff out, keep some of that oil in there for the veggies. Now the reason, hey pups, come on bud, let's not stand right where the hot oil may fall on you. Come on guys, we know better. But the reason we paired the peppers and the onions, you guys saw earlier I have some tomatoes too and the corn, but that stuff's not going to take very long to cook. The peppers and the onions generally will be cooking approximately about the same amount of time. The SOS medic is not in the house. No, yeah, don't. We're not going to play that game today. Not trying, anyways. Oh man, this is already, the smell is starting to get to me. It's really good. All right, so what else we got going on? Something, we're about to get fancy here. I got to cut up this cilantro. Could do it later. It's going to be more of a garnish thing towards the end. I'm going to hit it right in the very last minute. just because I like the nice, fresh, crisp cilantro versus, you know, having to cook it all the way down. And as you can see, my cilantro is getting real. We're down to like the last wire on this bad boy. I'm picking out most of the stems. Little stem ain't gonna kill you. I'll go ahead and get a little bit of that going on there. And the rest of this is about to become, put that one out there. The rest of this stuff is just going to go right into the compost pile. Alright, got that going on. Clean up our area a little bit. Most important thing about cooking, learn this motto called clean as you go. Way less mess to clean up later and gets you to enjoying your meal much faster. Alright, so let's just toss these around a little bit. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of salt and pepper to these bad boys. So I always like to use fresh ground everything, salt and pepper, just because, I mean, I'm not saying you're a bad person if you don't do that. I'm just saying you're missing out. That's all. Especially the fresh ground pepper. Go ahead and add as much of that as you feel like you want to. I would add a couple more things to this, maybe some cumin, some oregano. I'm going to add some garlic here in a little bit, but for now I just think I want to just kind of let this go. There was a lot of flavoring in that ground beef. So I'm really not worried about adding too much extra stuff. It's still going to have lots of flavor. But if you want it, it's all yours, man. Go to town. Oh, the next task, semi-laborious. We're going to break out some tomatoes. If I can open the dang thing. So we just got some cherries here. It's not the greatest tomato to use for this because it's, you know, they're a chore to cut. But we're just going to go ahead and get these into kind of like a super large, sloppy chop. You know, I'm not that worried about it. Something bite-sized. Tomatoes will break down a lot when you cook them. So we're also going to wait towards the end, so we get as much form out of these bad boys as we can get. And I feel like because I'm doing this on a live stream and I cooked professionally for 10 years, I probably should be cutting much more textbook, where I put my thumb behind my hand like that. You know, it's just, I don't know. I'm not about to tell people how to cut. I'm just saying, watch them digits. That's all. I think we might be about good with this. Maybe a couple more just for funsies. I do enjoy tomato. And the cherry tomatoes, they pack a lot of taste in a little small package. Lots of sugars that run through these things. They're very sweet. Get a, kind of almost like a nice sour note to them as well when they first hit your tongue. Big fan. If you wanted to do tomatoes, but you're not like a huge fan, try salting the tomatoes before you add them in. Just let them kind of sit and stew in a little bit of sauce. Pull out some of that. Pull out some extra water, first of all, and second of all, it'll kind of help mellow out some of those more, you know, acidic notes that are in there. Starting to get some translucency in the onions. Starting to get a little color on the peppers, which is nice, but we're not quite there. We've got our garlic ready to go. We've got our black beans ready to go. We have our Queso Cotija, which is like a nice, I don't want to say Mexican cheese. I don't exactly know where it comes from, but very popular in like tacos. It's kind of a salty cheese. It's really good. A little bit goes a long ways. Oh man, and I think we're pretty much there with our peppers and onions. I think now we can probably, let's add some corn first. Add some corn. Oh, and this is, okay. Kind of screwed up here. So this was these little corn packets we got from Costco, fire roasted corn, and apparently they come with like a little sauce action. Happy little accident, I guess. Get some even more flavor. Go ahead and add our beans in now. And we will wait until just the last minute to add the rest of those tomatoes. I should also mention it before I did any of this, in the rice cooker, I just cooked up a little bit of white rice, threw a bay leaf in there, kept the flavors kind of neutral. You can also season the hell out of your rice before you cook that and have all sorts of different contrasts and flavors and have a lot of fun with it. But I went neutral so I can use it in more than one dish. Beauty about a rice cooker, just keep that thing full and keep the rice flowing. Alright, and the other thing I'm going to do, because I screwed up earlier and didn't actually chop all this cilantro, just give that a quick little choppy. Oh, what's up, buddy? I know. Hey, pups, what are we doing here? Come on, I'm trying to cook food here. You guys just ate. Man, it's like we're almost done with this thing. It's pretty wild. But I mean, I wish you guys could smell this, but it's pretty fantastic. Money. So now the game is kind of shifted over to just making sure all this stuff gets nice and hot. I'm not too worried about getting a saute on it. If you wanted to do some kind of blackened corn on your own and make it, you can do that. You just need to do that corn separately. If you're using frozen corn or canned corn or something like that, make sure to just let that stuff drain out for a while, so it, you know, gets on the drier side of things. That way you can get a nice, you know, brown saute on that thing, get some nice color. Go ahead and add some garlic now, just cause, you know, you can never really have, I mean, you can have too much garlic, but I mean, not tonight. Not tonight. Oh crap, you know what else we gotta do? Stand by. Output. This was, how did we miss this? We got ourselves some Mexican lager from Iron Horse Brewery. Way to go. I'm gonna be reviewing this beer in one of the upcoming beer shows. It will not be Fridays. I've already picked out Friday's beer. Oh my gosh, that is dark for a Mexican lager. Holy cow. That is wild. Nice amber color to it. I did not I expected something like a Corona, you know. Oh, that's got so much aroma to it. You know what? We'll come up here for a second. Oh, hey everybody, thanks for joining us. Here we go. Good Lord, that tastes like a Negre Modelo. That's exactly what that tastes like. Just, I mean, it's a little frosty glass here. I figured frosty for the lager, but I mean, that is a dark Mexican lager, and it's fantastic. For as dark as it is, I'm surprised how light it is. Oh, okay, come on, phone clamp. Hold strong. Brand new phone. Don't drop now. We don't even have a case on it. All right, well, we are almost done, so we're gonna go ahead and just toss in the tomatoes. If I don't lose them all on the way over. Tomatoes, we'll go ahead and throw in that cilantro now, because I'm getting greedy. We'll go ahead and grab this stuff. Police up some scrappies. Clean as you go. Alright, now let's go ahead and juice our lime and our lemon. Just drop them in there. Don't be cautious. Just let it fly. Uh-oh, we got a lemon seed. That's not gonna be good. Oh, there's 2 lemon seeds. That's right. We'll fix that. We'll remedy that situation in a second. Let's grab a little boom. Get me out that lemon seed. I do not want to be biting into that when I'm trying to enjoy my taco bowl. Right, I think we're good. Let's give this a little toss. See, generally speaking, I wouldn't do it in this sauce pan, or the saute pan. I do it more of like a, you know, like more of a pot. Get a little bit more room going on. But I figured this would look better in the video, so here we go. And that's it. We did it. We're going to add our ground beef. Give it another little toss. Cut the stove off. Oh man. Oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. So I got to be real careful. I picked a way smaller pan than I should have. Oh yeah. But that's the money right there. So we'll just kind of set that aside for now. Let's grab a bowl so we can plate things up. White dishes always look good on camera. So let's grab a little bit of a white rice that we got made. Give ourselves a little bit of white rice to lay all this stuff on. Then I'm going to switch up the spoon, which was slotted, just making things easier to move around. I will go ahead and grab our nice big closed spoon. We want all that juice in here too, so it just makes it easy for us. Bing, bang, boom. Let's add some of that avocado. Oh, row. Yeah, you tell him, buddy. So just take that spoon and run it right along the skin there. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Good. Add a little bit of our Queso Cotija. Boom. And I think, just because I want to be fancy, I'm going to grab a couple condiments here. A little dollop of Daisy never does anybody wrong, unless you're lactose intolerant, that is. So we'll just do a little dollop of that. And this beautiful thing is the Los Calientes from the YouTube show Hot Ones, and it is a fantastic little hot sauce for Spanish dishes. Flavor profiles match perfectly. And boom, Mexican cerveza, not made in Mexico but made in Washington, burrito bowl, and we're off to the races. So that was that. That was it. Let's step back a little bit here, and I'm gonna end this live stream now so that I can go grub down. Thanks everybody for hanging out. If you see, what do I want to boost here? What do I want to promo here? You know, check out the Salted Streets YouTube page, saltedstreet.com. I'm gonna be posting this on YouTube a little later tonight. So if you missed part of it, you want to catch the whole deal, just look for it on YouTube in probably hour and a half. Other than that, we will catch you on the flip side.
Welcome to the salt of the streets, coming at you every week with this food for thought. Hope you